Hey, it's Ben here from the Strength Factory, and this is my second video about what I call the Strength Factory approach. This is about how I do business, how I create monsters out of everyday people who walk into the gym. And it's for two things. It's number one, for those of you who don't know me or who haven't worked with me before, to get an idea of what I do and the sort of thing that I offer as part of my face-to-face or online coaching. And for those people that I'm already coaching, this just helps to explain why I'm doing everything, okay? So that you can really buy into that process and know that you're doing the right stuff to make really solid progress, not just this week, not just this month, but long term, to become a really well-rounded athlete, amateur or professional. So in the first episode of the Strength Factory approach, I talked about why I place so much importance on building your aerobic fitness, aerobic conditioning, or base fitness, or whatever you want to call it. So if you haven't watched that, I really suggest you take 16 minutes out of your life and go and watch that now. So building on that, what I want to talk about here is how we then introduce some power-based training into your training plan and building around the aerobic fitness that we've already talked about. Now, again, some of this actually might be quite familiar and is a lot less, well, not controversial, but a bit more mainstream, but it's just to get you thinking about why I program certain things and the thinking behind that, because you should always be asking why am I doing this? Am I doing this exercise or this workout because I saw it on Instagram, or because my coach just wanted to give me something interesting, or because I just wanted to get beasted, or do I want to actually improve and get more powerful or something like that? So, what I've got here is a real simple graph. Power increasing as we go up that side here, and time over this bit here. And what I've drawn here is a training session that's all about improving your power, which is your ability to move something, whether it's your body weight, a weight, or a pedal, or something like that, quickly. Okay, so powerful could mean a lightweight very quickly, or a heavyweight slower, but still as fast as you can. Now, it's really important to understand when you're trying to improve power is that you need to do powerful things to improve power, which sounds silly, but not everyone always gets this. And that is why, as part of power training, it's super important to have long rest periods between the work. And that's what we've got here. So, like I said, we've got power against time, and this red line here, this is what you might call the threshold above which you're going to develop power. So if I'm working up here, I'm working at high enough power, high enough intensity, that I'm going to create a response in my body that's going to develop, through good recovery, so that once I've done this training session, recovered from it, I'm then more powerful. Anything below the line is either going to be, it's just, so this area just below the line, it's not intense enough to develop your power, but it is intense enough to feel the burn, get tired out. And then down the bottom here, this is like that low level aerobic, okay? So you can think of it as built into 3 levels. So this could be a number of things. So let's just call it a sprint session on a mountain bike or road bike. And what we do is after the warm up, I'm gonna hit the first sprint, and this might be literally 10 seconds. So for 10 seconds, I go as hard as I can. I'm trying to bend the cranks. I can't go any harder. And I hit this peak power up here, and then 10 seconds done, boom, I drop right back down. And I've now got this recovery period here. Now clearly my scale is a bit out here because that's 10 seconds, but let's call this bit here 5 minutes, okay, to fit it all on the whiteboard. So we've got like a 10-second sprint here, and then we've got a 5-minute recovery there. And that recovery is all the way back down here at an aerobic level. And what that does is it allows your body to fully recover, for all the complicated science stuff to happen in your muscles, to then mean that when it's that time again to go again, you've got enough juice, you've got enough power in the system to get over that red line again and hit this peak again here. And so what we're doing then, we're then exposing the body to those peaks here. Bang, I go powerful enough to adapt, I recover. Bang, we go over that line, I'm powerful enough to recover. And this is something a lot of people, especially like the young lads who come and see me, who just want to do high intensity intervals and hit max heart rate for the whole session, they struggle to get their head around it. And I'll say, right, you can do 5-second sprints, and you're gonna have 5 seconds recovery in between. And they'll come back and be like, oh Ben, I was feeling really, really good. So I cut the recovery to 3 minutes, thinking I was gonna be happy. And part of me, obviously it's my fault, I should have explained better, but part of me, this is why I'm making these videos to explain, is actually, when you shorten this here, all that happens is, on the next one, I don't go as high. So maybe I do just about get over the line here and go hard enough to adapt, to get some power. But then I shorten that rest period again, and the next one, oh, I'm just nudging over it, and so on. And then before you know it, because you're not recovering enough, you don't get over this line. So all you're doing is, you're getting tired. You're just, which is what the internet likes. You're knackering yourself out, you're hot, you're sweaty, you're breathing through your arse, you can do a selfie on the gym floor, happy days, but are you any more powerful at the end of the session? No, you're probably not. Maybe if the first 1 or 2 were really good, you've made some gains. But actually, if you do really high intensity with proper recovery, it lets you hit that high intensity again and again. And the more times we can get over that threshold line, then the more potential there is to develop your power. Now, that is going to start dropping off eventually. And when it starts to drop off, when you either feel that you don't have the same power, or the numbers on the watt bike or the row or whatever tell you you don't have the same power, that's when it's time to stop the session. Because guess what? All you're doing then is just getting tired, you're knackering yourself out, and you're not training constructively to get more powerful. And this is the difference between training hard and training smart. Now, so I talked there about shortening rest periods and going for, and the effect that has. And don't get me wrong, there is a time for those things. There will be times when I'll shorten the rest periods closer to the race season, because as you approach race season, the training should become more and more like a race. And in a race, you don't get to fully recover between efforts. But certainly, through the winter and spring, this is the work you need to be doing to develop that top-end power and then to be able to recover from it. Now, this is a different thing. So this would be someone maybe, rather than doing a 5 or 10 second sprint, they're going for a longer effort, which again, sometimes is fine. That can be part of your program, and it is part of my programs, but I just want to explain the difference. So what we get here is, let's say someone's going for 30 seconds to a minute or something, which again is valid, but because they're going for that, they only just get over the line here, and then it starts tailing off, going down there. And what happens is, you just spend all this time here in the burn, okay, that deep sort of blood lactate rising, that burn in your muscles basically. And again, that's cool. That's a really worthwhile training session in the right context, but this is very emotionally and physically demanding. It will leave you very tired, potentially sore, very much raised appetite, and is very stressful on your body. Whereas this is a lot less stressful on your body, okay? And the next day, you are unlikely to be sore, too tired, or anything like that. And what you need to remember is that most people watching this, you're not a pro athlete, you're not 19, you're not training full time, twice a day, in which case you can tolerate a whole load of this, compared to a guy like me. I'm fit and healthy, 38 years old, but I can't be doing stuff like this every day. I certainly can't be, smashing myself several times a week on it, because it's so hard to recover from. And this sort of exercise is stressful on your body, okay? In a different way to the way this is. So other examples then that you may see in my programs might be on the rowing machine, something like a 10-minute EMOM every minute on the minute. That means at the start of the minute you'll do a certain thing, and then the rest of the minute you recover. So on the rowing machine, one of the sessions I had, and I actually got a question about recently, is 5 pulls on the rower as hard as you can. And I don't mean just a bit more oomph. I literally mean you're trying to rip that chain out of the bloody machine. You're trying to snap the whole thing in half, you can't pull any harder, level 10, okay? And that there is taking you distinctly over that line, and then you've got the rest of the minute to recover. And I've had a couple of people say, oh, I think the session's too easy, I'm not sure it's worthwhile. And to which I would say, are you really pulling as hard as you can? Does that wattage spike through the roof as you're trying to rip the chain off the machine? Okay, and 5 strokes, you know, if you've got a good cadence and technique, that's still taking at least, well, probably at least 10 seconds if you're rowing at 24, 25 strokes per minute or something. And then you recover for the rest of the minute and go again. And that way it's a really productive session. It's largely aerobic, but with a strong power part to it as well to help you develop that power. And it's all about understanding why you're doing that session. So hopefully I've made that a little clearer and given you some handy information there about how to conduct power-based training, whether it's sprints or on the rowing machine or even, jumping on a box or something like that. And yeah, so if you've got any questions, make sure you give me a shout. For those who are on the Complete MTB program, please, come back to me with any questions, and I'll continue to make these videos to inform all of you guys on what I do, how I do it, and most importantly, why.